Okay, thank you so much for joining me here today on this beautiful Tuesday morning. There's a lot going on today that I think may be a huge advantage for all of us, and that is called life. How's that? Every day that we are focused on building our businesses needs to be done through this expectant, desirous, potential thought. When you get out of bed, when you get ready to go to work, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling in any ways encumbered, or a lot of times, and I've done this many times, I mean, the businesses that I run, I tell you sometimes, they weigh so much, right? We get this experience of the lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, a lot of these things, or the pressures are really high. How many of you ever just sat on the edge of your bed in the morning and just was like, wow, today is going to be X, and there might be one or two difficult conversations or things that you weren't prepared for, or maybe something really bad happened the day before, and you're sitting on the edge of your bed right when you get out of bed, and you're just like, oh. Well, let me tell you something. Stay expectant. Expect good things to happen. Okay? Tony Robbins talks about the optimist versus the pessimist, and the pessimists are usually more accurate, right? They're usually able to kind of predict outcomes a little bit better, but the optimist, even though their predictions aren't as clear, and to the most part, to a degree, they fail more, they're the one that actually makes anything really happen in their life. So no matter what it is, no matter what your challenges are, don't let that logical side of your brain stop that empirical force that is who you are, that self, that is really your true center. Don't ever let it stop that part of yourself from making progress. Because again, as even Robbins talks about, once you are in an incredible state of belief and you have created meaning out of what it is that you plan to pursue at any given moment, it is a command from that self that you are to that mind that you have to organize itself as to the point of figuring out exactly how to make what they do happen, how to actually accomplish it. If you sit and think about it sometimes and just analyze it, that pessimist side of you, which everybody has, is going to give you 15 reasons why it's not possible. But if you get into that incredible state and get your mind in there, as Jack Zufeld talks about it, that success attitude, right, that state of beingness, well, your mind is forced to figure out the solutions, and believe me, it does. And that's where all success comes from. It really is. So, good morning. Let's make today incredible. Let's do something powerful together today. You're here with me for the Morning Mindset. My name is Beto Paredes, and I want to welcome all of you. So, yes, you can join us live. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, so every work day or weekday. Okay, I guess saying every work day is kind of funny because my day, I work 6 days a week, right? But every weekday we do this, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to have you join us to get your mindset, to get that invigoration going up, and jump up and down a little bit, everybody. Let's get some energy going today. Let's really do something powerful with our day and make this really matter, all right? So, welcome. We're going to cover a subject like we do every day. I always suggest that you take a notebook, you take a pen, write down some things that you felt were significant from our conversation, and see if that can't help you develop forward in the rest of your day. So let's go ahead and get into our subject today. So today's subject is, what exactly is patience? Oh my goodness. What is this thing called patience? Now, the big question is, when I say the word patience, what comes to your mind? Is it negative? Is it positive? My guess, for the majority of us, and even myself, for a good majority of the time, I look at patience negatively. I experience patience in my psychology, and I feel that that's something that's going to take away from my experience, that the requirement for me to be patient is a negative perspective on my drive to make something valuable happen. Because as an entrepreneur standing on the edge of that abyss of the unknown, which is absolutely the most fantastic, wonderful, beautiful thing, at the same time the scariest thing. Being patient is a difficult rule to live by, and not a lot of personal development coaches like to talk about the subject of patience. You don't get people up out of their seat jumping up and down, yes, patience, be patient. That'd be cool, though, right? I mean, the whole webinar around that would be powerful, right? Think about it. What exactly is patience? Let's define it, okay? So, patience, or forbearing, is the state of endurance under difficult circumstances, which can mean persevering in the face of delay or provocation without acting on negative annoyance or anger, or exhibiting forbearance when under strain, especially when faced with long-term difficulties. This is a definition that I took off of, I do believe it was Wikipedia. So this is the definition of patience. Let's think about it. Throw a little bit slower. Patience or forbearance is the state of endurance under difficult circumstances. Endurance. Not going to the physical side. You'll notice down at the bottom I say, this sounds incredibly close to physical conditioning. So we're going to use that as a rule. What is endurance? What is building endurance all about? Any of you that are into working out? Well, if you want to run a marathon or a half a marathon, you develop endurance through the process of running half a mile, then 2 miles, then 3 miles, and you have to build yourself up to that potential focused endurance needed in order to handle said situation. And if you can build enough endurance, you can run a half a marathon. Well, do you want to build a business that has value and that you can retire from, and that you may even be able to pass on to your posterity, and possibly even put together a large retirement fund from? Okay? I can't see any of you in person. I want you to raise your hand. Okay? It doesn't really matter exactly what we're trying to accomplish. I don't think any of us business owners get involved as entrepreneurs in order to simply stay broke. Okay, how many of you entrepreneurs are out there busting your butt all day, every day to stay broke? Raise your hand. Yeah, I highly doubt any of you raised your hand at that point, right? Patience is the state of endurance under difficult circumstances. It is not waiting. Okay, patience is a mode of operating. If you're building endurance, that is active. Okay, it is an activity. Practicing patience is an activity. It is not a separation like you would think in your mind of where you're waiting. Okay, when was the last time you had to be patient, where you knew patience was required? When you were exercising patience, where you didn't feel like it was something that was actually fairly active because you want to go further. You want to have more money right now. You want to make your business work. You want to be excited. You want to be a millionaire. But when you are required to be patient, you are actively building endurance. Can you say that with me? Patience is the activity of building endurance. Okay? Don't look at it as any other way. Okay, this sounds incredibly close to physical conditioning, so we're going to use that as a rule. Okay, I do HIIT training. Many of you probably hear me say that too much. I do it every morning. And when I fall off, I tell you, I have to go back through the development of my endurance again. Okay, and there's always the process of developing more, being able to handle more, going harder, getting stronger. Okay, you're either going one direction or you're going the other. And any of you that work out or gotten anywhere in life know that's a fact. But patience is an active positive experience if you allow yourself to understand the principles. Being patient is psychological endurance. It's a psychology. Okay? Patience or forbearance in the state is the state of endurance under difficult circumstances. Okay? If you're a business owner and you're building a business, no matter how successful you are, it is always a situation where you are dealing with difficult circumstances. And I'm going to bring it back again, the idea of working out. How many of you that work out like it, enjoy it? Raise your hand. Okay? Not everybody enjoys it. As a matter of fact, usually when people start getting into it, they hate it. They don't like it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to deal with it. It's difficult. Okay? Working out is a difficult circumstance. Okay? But you learn to actually like it. Any of the entrepreneurs that are ever successful in their realities always talk about how they started. They've learned to like these. They're masochists. It's not that if you're a masochist or that you like that difficulty. It's that you understand what that difficulty is. I talk about it as the refiner's fire. A lot of you spiritualists might connect with that idea. Refinement, just like working out. The higher your endurance, the stronger you become. The more capable you become. The more athletic you become. Okay? So patience or forbearance is a state of endurance under difficult circumstances. And all circumstances as an entrepreneur are difficult. Okay? You've got to change what that means. Okay? Change the idea of having a difficult time to being a way of making progress. And again, I think I heard this at the last Get Motivated Utah. I still can't remember who said this. I think I mentioned this in one of my last mindsets. That there's an individual that every time he heard no on the phone, he used that as a catalyst. He used that as a call to action. Okay, look at what you're doing as an Olympian. Look at what you're doing as an opportunity for growth when you have to be patient. Okay, so let's continue talking about this, which can mean persevering in the face of delay or provocation without acting on negative annoyance or anger. So let's talk about this first piece. Perseverance in the face of delay. Okay? You can't expect a flower to grow because you yell at it. You can't go out to your garden and plant a bunch of crops and then stand at the edge of that garden and yell and scream. Okay? There's no corn stalk that's going to shoot up through the ground just because you want to have it happen. You want to make a statement to it. Okay? Businesses are like gardens. They're like flowers. You continue to put in the right mechanics. Okay? That's one thing we talk about a lot here over at our company, the mechanics of the things you have to do. Just keep working on the mechanics. Water it at the same time. Put in fertilizer. Make sure there's enough sun. Constantly tend it, tend it, tend it, tend it, tend it, tend it, tend it. You're persevering in the face of delay. But keep your mechanics solid. Be patient, right? Meaning keep at it no matter what the results are. Continue no matter what the results are. Know your mechanics. Okay? Robbins talks about how all success is 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. Keep your mindset on the philosophy that your mechanics are important. Keep them moving. So if you don't make sales today, not a big deal. Make sure your mechanics are tight. Make sure psychologically you're doing your best, you're giving your best, you're being your best, you're learning as much as you can on a daily basis and watering that crop, getting enough sunshine on it because it does start to grow. But guaranteed, if you just decide one particular day that it's not worth it to be patient and you just don't go out to the garden and put water in it, well, 4 or 5 days later when you go back out there and decide to start watering it again because suddenly you get this renewal, only half your crops are going to come up. And you're going to think that that's an incredible thing when they do, And you're going to fool yourself into believing that the success that you have is as much as you can get because you weren't consistent. You didn't deal with it. You didn't hold your forbearance. You have to persevere in the face of delay. Okay? You have to build that endurance. It makes you strong. You may not look at the day the same way at the end of it as you did at the beginning of it. You may not be as encouraged, but you need to follow your mechanics and stay focused and continue to move forward, even if things are not perfect. Okay, bigger businesses like the multi-level marketing business I have usually take about 5 to 7 years to really get going. Okay, we're coming upon our first year. Real proud of where we are. Are we where I think we should be? Absolutely not. Where we're headed is so much bigger. But I got to water that garden. I have to be patient. I have to stay positive. I have to believe, and keep my mechanics straight. Work on it every day. That's just one of the investments that I have that's super important to me, right? Okay, or provocation without acting on negative annoyance or anger. So, it's not that you can't be provoked. As a matter of fact, if you got some solidity to you, some pride in your work, some energy about you, you kind of even put yourself out there a little bit to be provoked a little bit easier than other people. Because people that feel little really don't deal too much with being provoked. A lot of times they just lay down over things like that. I mean, how many times have you jumped up and felt like you had to defend yourself, defend your business, defend your purpose to the people that you know, your family, your friends, other people that are looking at the business that you have and telling you that it's not going to go anywhere? Or asking why you're spending so much time on something that seems to be spinning its wheels. And you get angry. You get upset. Because they're messing with your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your focus. And you want to be upset about it. There is proof out there, and, you know, I'll probably just for fun, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, I'll just publish this, I'll go find it, that getting angry actually attacks your brain. Believe it or not, it makes you dumb. It actually kills your neurons. It's an incredible thing that it actually does that thing. You got to protect that. If you feel like you're going to be annoyed or angry, it's usually because things are not clear, that you're not matching the blueprint as you see yourself yet, which you need to be patient. We talked about the blueprint yesterday and how it's more of a direction than a destination, right? You've got to be patient. You've got to change what the word patience means to you so that you can use it in a positive manner. If there's a miscommunication, take a breath. Learn to neutralize anger. Learn to neutralize annoyance. Neutralize it. You don't always have to be happy-go-lucky. You don't always have to be skipping down the trail like a happy blue smurf. I've met people that are like that. And what's funny is the people that are like that oftentimes have the opposite effect. And in private, sometimes they completely and totally explode, which is just fun. People are fun. Okay? But at the end of the day, you've got to control that negative annoyance and anger, because that will force you to stop the mechanics of watering that garden. Where's my crops? Why isn't this working? You got to stay neutral at those times. You don't always have to be happy. Okay? I absolutely do everything I can to stay as positive as I can. I remember listening to Robin's on the way to work just the other day. He was talking about how things are evenly played. In other words, we have positive, we have negatives, right? But he talked about how you want to focus primarily on as much positive thinking, positive potential as you can, but it's okay once in a while to get critical. But he said that the critical times that you're really kind of looking at your business and looking at what you're doing so you can make better decisions. They're so dense. This is really what got me. That they're so dense because when you get critical, you just slice everything up so much. You guys ever get caught up in that in your mind where you just like you're feeling critical about something, or man, you just breathe a torrent of energy into it, and you're just like, oh, because of this, because of that, this isn't working, that's not working, this isn't working, this isn't working, this not working, this isn't working, and you're like, ah. All right, it's okay once in a while to get critical like that, but it's so dense. He said that should only be 2% of your time, 98% of the time you should be focused on positivity. He talked about the 7-day plan where you go 7 days and you don't vocalize anything negative. Everything out of your mouth has to be positive. If you feel something negative or see something negative in your mind, you neutralize it, but you don't vocalize it. I think that's an incredible practice. I think I might even try that myself. But what it comes down to, okay, is you cannot be doing that. You've got to control that negative annoyance or anger that sometimes does well within you. You want to express it. You should not do that because it really is terrible for your psychology. Remember, 80% psychology in all of the success that we do is important. Okay, 80% is a lot. Okay, or exhibiting forbearance when under strain, especially when faced with long-term difficulties. All business development are long-term difficulties. When you started your business, you signed up to have a difficult time. How's that? I'm going to try to sell that to every positive coach out there, every thought leader out there. How's that? When you signed up for your business, you really did. You signed up for long-term difficulties. Again, just like working out. Pretty soon you start to love it, at least if you decide that you're going to, and that you're going to figure out how to make that endurance, that power that you're building in yourself, matter in a positive way. Because even when you're 6-8 months into working out, I'm telling you, if you can do 90 push-ups and then suddenly you're doing 100, it's still that last 5 or 6, no matter how many you can do, that are just so freaking hard. It never changes. This development of endurance, you become stronger. When you become stronger, if you're in a network marketing business, the strength of that patience that you have is enumerated. The people underneath you in your organization, they can feel that. When you've got an incredible amount of patience, remember, that's not waiting. Patience is an active activity. I hope that I've at least convinced you of that today. When they feel that coming from you, they feel something internal to their deepest self. That progress, that ability within them to be able to hold that forbearance and to be stronger with you. Talked to my son about this a little bit. If you're going to walk a mile and you want to build strength, what would build more strength? Walking? Or if I put 70-pound weights in each hand and then you walked? Let's say that you did that 100 times over 100 days in both directions. Okay, one without the weights, one with. Which one do you think would make you stronger? I don't even think I have to get into that too far. With everyone on this phone call or on this webinar knows exactly which one would work better. Okay? Exhibiting forbearance when under strain, especially when faced with long-term difficulties. Okay, this is part of the process of becoming a stronger person, standing in that refiner's fire. As Jack Zufelt says, being constantly in the discomfort zone, standing outside of that comfort level and strengthening yourself. Okay, patience is the level of endurance one can take before negativity. It is also used to refer to the character trait of being steadfast, character development. You guys have probably heard me talk about this. I used to hear about this from my grandpa. My grandpa was an incredible man. He was a farmer, powerful guy. He done some incredible things in his life. Hardest worker ever. He'd show up to my parents' house, and I'd run. I'd try to hide from him because he'd always put me to work for 3 hours. Right? But he always talked to me about character development. You got to develop your character. And I always thought that was just like an old man thing that you say to kids. You know, I really did. But I started to understand what character is. Okay, character is that fine-tuned perspective of your personality that manages the potential of forbearance, that manages the potential of belief and meaning in your life. Patience is a level of endurance one can take before negativity. Before negativity. It's not handling negativity. It's not allowing negativity to even exist in the experience that you're having of difficulty on a daily basis. If you can't be super happy, positive, focused, ready, then take a deep breath and be neutral. Be patient. Be quiet for a moment. Okay? So, get a pen, get a notebook. If you haven't taken some notes, let's make some notes. Let's patiently write some incredibly well-written notes. How's that? And let's have an incredible day, all right? Tuesday, we're just still into the first of the week here. Tuesdays are an incredible day because Monday's over. Monday's always chaos for so many people. But you know what? Even if it's not really chaos for them, so many people believe it is chaos, okay? So for you personally, try to make Monday a solid day. There's no chaos. It's just another day. It's the beginning. It should be an exciting day. But you deal with a lot of people that have that mentality. So Tuesdays, a lot of times, are better days for contacts. Get out there, work with your network, talk with people, get it going, get your business going. Okay, let's make this happen. Let's get our mindset. Let's make Tuesday matter. And, of course, we will be back here again tomorrow morning. Have a beautiful day.